Tips for effective study. Hey everyone! Let's be real for a second. Studying can feel like trying to climb Mount Everest in flip-flops. You've got 5 different classes. Each teacher thinks their subject is the most important thing in the universe. And somehow, you're supposed to remember everything from the periodic table to the causes of World War I. Sound familiar? Well, here's the good news. Effective studying isn't about being the smartest person in the room or pulling all-nighters fueled by energy drinks. It's about working smarter, not harder. Today, I'm going to share some game-changing study strategies that actually work. And I promise, none of them involve highlighting your entire textbook in neon yellow. 1. The foundation. First things first, let's talk about your study environment. Your brain is like a high-performance engine, and it needs the right conditions to run smoothly. Find a space that's consistently yours for studying. Maybe it's your bedroom desk, a corner of the library, or even the kitchen table. The key word here is consistently. When you study in the same place regularly, your brain starts to associate that space with focus and learning. Now about distractions, and yes, I'm looking at you, smartphone. That little device is basically a dopamine slot machine designed to steal your attention. Try the phone in another room rule, or if that feels too extreme, use apps that block social media during study time. Trust me, your Instagram feed will survive without you for 2 hours. 2. Active learning techniques. Here's where most students go wrong. They think studying means reading the same chapter over and over until the words start blurring together. That's not studying, that's just wasting your time. Real studying is active, not passive. Try the explain it to a rubber duck method. Pick any object, a rubber duck, your pet, even your reflection in the mirror, and explain the concept you're learning out loud. If you can't explain photosynthesis to your bedroom wall in simple terms, you don't really understand it yet. Another powerful technique is the Feynman method. Break down complex ideas into simple language. If you're studying Shakespeare, don't just memorize that Romeo and Juliet is about star-crossed lovers. Dig deeper. Explain why their family's feud matters, how the timing of events creates tragedy, what the play says about young love versus family loyalty. 3. Memory and retention. Your brain isn't a computer hard drive. You can't just download information and expect it to stay there forever. Memory works through connections and repetition, but not the boring kind of repetition you're thinking of. Space out your studying. Instead of cramming everything the night before a test, review material multiple times over several days. This is called distributed practice, and it's like going to the gym for your brain. You wouldn't try to build muscle by doing 500 push-ups once a month, right? Same principle applies to learning. Create connections between new information and stuff you already know. Studying the Revolutionary War? Connect it to modern-day protests or political movements. Learning about chemical reactions? Think about cooking, that's chemistry in action. Your brain loves patterns and stories, so give it some. 4. Practical strategies. Let's get tactical. When you're reading textbooks, don't just highlight. That's basically expensive coloring. Instead, write questions in the margins. Turn headings into questions. If the chapter is called Causes of the Great Depression, write what caused the Great Depression in your notes, then answer it in your own words. Use the Cornell note-taking system. Divide your paper into 3 sections. Take notes on the right, write key questions or keywords on the left, and summarize at the bottom. This forces you to engage with the material actively instead of just copying what the teacher says. 5. The bigger picture. Here's something teachers don't always tell you. Studying isn't just about getting good grades. You're literally rewiring your brain, building connections that will serve you for life. Every time you push through a challenging concept, you're developing grit. Every time you organize information effectively, you're strengthening problem-solving skills. Conclusion: remember, everyone's brain works differently. Maybe you're a visual learner who needs diagrams and charts. Maybe you learn best by talking through problems with friends. Maybe you need to pace around your room while memorizing vocabulary. The key is experimenting to find what works for you, not what works for your best friend or your older sibling. Effective studying isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Start with one or two of these techniques, build the habit, then add more. Before you know it, you'll be that student who actually understands the material instead of just memorizing it. Now stop watching videos about studying and actually go study. Your future self will thank you.